Hi everyone, Brett here, high altitude scale modeling. Different camera angle right now because I'm showing you this monster. Doing a review on this. As you can see, the box is huge. And we're going to find out if it's worth the $130 Hobby Boss is charging. First things first, this is the SU-34 box next to it. So, as you can see, quite a difference in box size. And sorry, I can't lift a little arm. Box thickness. Alright, and at the end we'll compare the two fuselages. Alright. So this one comes with a couple of schemes and the weapon sets. Another scheme here. And when we open the box, we'll see exactly what else schemes we got. So, let's get back to the regular camera. Get this review started. So, as you can see, there's no way this box is going to fit into the overhead camera shot. But it is beautiful box art. Russian SU-34. Move this over that way. Length 457 millimeters. Wingspan 306 millimeters. Big plane. Jet. Fighter bomber. So, let's see what we've got. We got fuselage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 sprues, decal sheet, stencils, weapons data, instructions, what's coming up from Hobby Boss, nice CAD drawing, and we'll go over the rest of the instructions after we get it all opened up. This is a box of kits we'll go through. Alright. Set this to one side. Start with the fuselage. Very nicely packed and protected. Nose right there. So it looks like on the other side. Put these off so I can secure back in there. Since I'm not sure when I'll be building it, I still want to finish the hind before I start any other really big kits. Alright. Two halves. Very nice detailing. Panel lines. Rivet work. Well, that definitely didn't help. Some wiring and cabling in there. Engine nacelles, very nicely detailed. nose detailing, know, there's been a lot of controversy about the shape of the nose. And, you know, it's going to be hard to tell without the canopy put on. These points lined up. There we go. So there's the nose. Is it correct? I will have to look up some reference photos and see. But there's the nose. And the shape of the nose. So, you decide. The rest of it seems to be alright. Just remove that there. Alright, that's the fuselage, top and bottom. One thing that is nice that they've been doing with all their larger kits, keeping these sprue gates here to protect the corners or any antennas that might be on there. This one obviously doesn't have antennas yet. So, where to start? Here's a good spot. Where's me knife? All right. Leading edges, instrument panel, very nicely detailed, delicate parts. I'm guessing those are landing gear doors. But these leading edges look really nice. Lots of great detail in those. There we go. And then instrument panel. No flash. These are the insides of the gear doors. Very nicely detailed. No ejector pin marks there. There's some inside the leading edge slats, but there's none inside these gear doors either. These look like weapons pylons. So there's some in here, but once you put these together, you shouldn't be able to see them. There's no flash on any of these tiny little parts. This is going to be a long review, I think. All right. This looks like the tails. This has twin tails, as you know. Amazing how these fragile tiny little parts are. Again, ejector pins on the inside. They're all flat. None of them are sticking up. You won't see them. Tail sections. Very nice detailing. And I'm just amazed how these tiny little fragile parts here. No flash. They have ejector pins, or yeah, ejector pins right there. There we go. Very nice. Have to be careful of these. This one actually has a little bit of flash on it, but nothing you couldn't just simply handle. Very nice. Everyone's been talking about this kit because it's currently $130 in America. I haven't seen any lower than $133. I got it on Black Friday special, 40% off of that price. I got lucky. Let's see, these are the intakes. Front nozzles, landing gear struts. Not sure what all these parts are, but when we look at the directions, very nice detailing in here. Let me try something. All right. These could be inside cockpit, or they could be inside wheelbase. I'm not really sure, but the detailing on them is very good. Landing gear. Oh, it's in two halves. So you may have a seam line to clean up with those when you put them together. Detailing on these parts is very nice, sharp. You can feel it. It doesn't look out of scale at all. It looks perfect. You can see the rivets on that. It's beautifully detailed. And again, we won't know if it's worth $130 until it's actually built and sitting on the shelf somewhere. Matching sprues of engine parts, so we don't need to open both. That didn't work very well, did it? Wow. Getting this off could be a little bit of a challenge, but if you're sprue cutters and you handle them well, it'll be okay. Here's the hubs for the wheels. The wheels, when we get to it, you'll see are rubber. Compressor blades. Exhaust. Very nice detailing. Sorry for the way my camera's behaving. This one looks like flaps, speed brakes, maybe. Pods. Ejector pins are all inside. These are actually one piece. The canards. More gear doors. Flaps are two pieces. More gear doors. And they've got no ejector pin marks inside of any of these gear doors. Oops. Nice detailing. So again, very nice. Typical Hobby Boss. This is what we've seen from their kits. recently. So it's got some delicate parts in it. All right, landing gear legs. I'm guessing most of this is landing gear parts because you've got struts. You've got the FOD covers for the wheel. I want to say that's a ladder. It seems really small for a ladder. But how they molded that in there, and the FOD cover, it's really nice. Really crisp. There's no flash in there. There's no flash in there. I've got ejector bins placed so there's not flash. I've got two-piece landing gear. Most companies have one-piece landing gear. I'm not sure why they did that. And they've got two-piece pylons too. Interesting. Must be a reason for it. Pitot tube. But again, I'll be interested to see if that's a crew ladder or what's it for, because it's awfully small for a crew ladder. It's kind of tiny. More wing parts, crew deck, bulkhead. I'm guessing that's behind the cockpit seats. Not sure what they're for, but again, no ejector pins on either side of those. Two-piece flaps again, or ailerons, depending on where they're positioned. Some nice detail back here. Here's some ejector pin marks. So I'm not sure. I mean, if you see this much of it, you'll have to do that one. If you see that much, it's hard to say. Be interesting to see when we look at the instructions. But again, these tiny parts, no flash, no burring, very delicate to take off. I'm guessing this is the deck of the cockpit because there's some detailing on there. Throttle, it looks like. Got those little parts. All in all, just from looking at this, it looks like it's going to be a very nice kit. But again, we haven't built it. The SU-27, Paul, Ivan, Norman, lots of people are building the SU-27, and they say it's going together great. So since it's basically the same aircraft, you would think that this one would go together great. Alright, we're getting into the weapons now, and you know Hobby Boss and Trumpeter, they load it with weapons. These look like fuel tanks, drop tanks, matching sprues. Nice detail, fins, pylons. See, these pylons are one piece. It's got a little bit of flash right there that just comes right off. And very good. As long as they line up nicely, it'd be easy to take care of any seam lines, if there are any. I'm by no means an expert on Russian weaponry, but there's your basic Russian weapons. I'm not going to open it because they're the same weapons you get with the SU-27 and the MiG-27. Very nice weapons, 2 halves each. So you have to put them together. This one, again, pods, missiles, bombs. Looks like you get 8 sprues of weapons. Bombs. Actually, this one will open. Another matching set. I wanted to open this one because those bombs are really well detailed. 2 different sizes. 3rd different one. But the bomb rack connection points, very nice. Tails. Ejector racks. I haven't really seen much of the cockpit in this, except for the floor and the sides and the one instrument panel. But these bombs do look very nice. And another one is the exact same one, so there's 4 sprues of bombs. That's a big bomb load. Alright, we got the box. Looks like we got there's the ejector seats, the clear parts, the wheels, white metal landing gear parts. That's why they're in 2 pieces. A little bit of PE. Knife. Of course, there's 2 ejector seats. Your basic ejector seats, molded in seat belts, basic detail, controls, headrest, pull for the ejector seat. Nice resin seat will go far with this. Could be okay. I'm not sure how much you'll see, but it's got that big open cockpit and glass, so I'm thinking a resin seat with this would go nice. But it could be okay if you don't want to build all that up. Let's see what we got here. I almost think these are nuclear weapons. SU-34 says on there. Same thing with these. I'll have to look at the instructions, but I think these would be the nuclear weapons that it can carry. This is definitely a heavy armed bird. Pylons and ejector racks. 4 of those. 2, 4, 6, 10, 12. These look like laser guided bombs. 14 more sprues. Full pylons. Now, the way this would work is you're going to take one of these white metal landing gear legs, and you're going to put both halves of the injected molded part around it, and this is going to give strength. This is probably a very heavy aircraft because it is very large. So that's why when I said earlier, why did they mold them separately? So you can put the white metal legs inside there and give strength to the landing gear. Very good touch. Be careful how you put these in there because you'll bend them and break them. Rubber tires. Some love them, some hate them. I'm fine with them either way. You can't, maybe because of the weight of this, they will show weight on wheels. However, I'm sure there'll be some resin ones coming out. There's a seam line. Alright, so that showed up pretty good a second ago. Seam line, little cut. And you'd have to sand them down. There is writing on the wheels, KH27. They don't look bad. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to show much weight on wheels with these. But it's the choice of each individual modeler. Some nice weighted resin ones would be nice though. A little bit of PE I'm not going to open because there's no point. Vents. What it all looks like. Maybe a couple boxes. These clear parts, lights, some sort of box here, I'm guessing for the cockpit. Look nice. Now, the canopy. Very nicely wrapped. Well, there's no seam line in it because it's got the framing right there. And there is a lip to the framing, so it'll be easy to mask off. Stop. Actually, there's no distortion. That doesn't help, but there's no distortion. Looking pretty good there. I'd polish it up though because it looks a little cloudy. If you can see that, it looks a little cloudy. I'm not sure if you could do it open or not. No, because they get in this from the bottom. That's why the ladder's for. Ah, check out the big brain on Brett. Alright, let's set this all aside. Alright, I'm not going to open the decals. Hobby Boss decals. Nothing real fancy, all the numbers you could want. Red stars. Weapons stencils, fuselage stencils. They look very nice through here. Hobby Boss decals aren't too bad. Instrument panel decals. Alright, you're right. Let's look at them. Writing on them is legible if you speak Russian, at least on these ones here. These are so small, but they're just squiggly lines. Nice blue coloring for the instrument panel. If you chose to go that route, these are for the side panels. So yeah, very nice. A little shiny. But they're all in register. Carry from is pretty close on everything. The red stars. And red, white, and blue stars. Nice red color. Again, it's actual words, it's just not like scribbles there. Don't know if it spells what it's supposed to spell, but more detail for various things. Rescue ones. That one. So they look very nice. A little glossy maybe, but nothing that won't be handled with a good matte coat or semi-gloss coat. Alright, we're here before. CAD drawings. Faithfully reproduced side-by-side cockpit. Yep, that's a ladder. It goes up that leg right there. Front leg for landing gear. Various ordnance. 2 different ECM pods for the wingtips. So you can get, that's what bulkhead is for, because that whole area is detailed right there. You climb into the cockpit. Weapons callouts, decals, color guide. It is, if you want to, Mr. Hobby Vallejo Model Master Tamiya Humbrol. Mr. Hobby, of course, has all of them. Very nice weapons. I like the looks of these and these. And color callouts for one aircraft, red 5 on this side. Blue, green, light blue, sky blue, pearl gray, light green. Again, color callouts. Should you choose to pause it and take a look. That's for that one. I like the color of that. This is the other one. Ooh, that's a nice dark color. Solid color. No camouflage. What color is that? Intermediate blue. White tips, white nose. That's different. That one could be nice. Alright, typical Hobby Boss instructions. Sprue map. White metal legs, PE decals, tires. Very nicely laid out. I can't read the numbers on the parts, but that's alright. Usual, start with the cockpit, deck, ejector seat rails. This is one of those PE parts. Looks like it goes underneath that console right there. Bulkheads, side panels, and the decal. Hopefully Edward will be coming out with some photo etch or Yahoo. These are the left main gear cabin, right main gear cabin. So these are the doors to get into the cockpit. Nope, these are the main landing gear bays, sorry. This is the cockpit one. Cockpit fits in there. That was actually the front, not the back, because it's flush against there, the top. Then you put in the main gear and the nose gear and you put them together. Put in all these little details, probably waiting that till after it was all finished, doing it at the end. Canopy, looks like it's got a cannon. Engines, exhaust nozzles. You might see some decent detail since I've got that there. Tails. One thing about this, you don't have to put the landing gear on before you paint it. There's the canards. There's different options for the slats if you want them deployed or not deployed. Elevators. Intakes. So there's 3 pieces to each intake. Depending how it looks will determine. It should look seamless so it goes together well, because the connections are flat right there. But you won't know until you get it together. Putting the intakes on, the FOD covers are actually attached. So if you wanted to, you'd have to make your own. Putting the gear together, the metal parts, sandwiches between there. And it goes like that. And then this is the nose. This is the main. Again, goes right there. And then this part goes on there, so your finish looks like that. So you've got strength going this way and strength going this way for the wheels, and then the weight on it. Hubs go in, so you'll be able to paint the hubs before you put the wheels on. There's some very nice tiny detailing there. When you put these 2 pieces together, it's got to look at that angle right there. This landing gear could be a bit tricky. Put the landing gear in after it's painted, primed and painted, I would. Close up of how it's going to look when it's installed. Doors. You have an option. These are the outer doors. Those are the outer doors for this part. All your little pitot tube, and it always gives me a black. I always forget what that is. Anyway, fuel refueling probe. Options for the different ends to the wings. The ECM pods. Fuel tanks. Missiles. More missiles. Missiles and bombs. Bombs and missiles. Multiple ejector racks. So you can put 6 bombs on each. Different types of bombs. And here is where everything goes on the pylons. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 points to put weapons. This one here looks FAB 100. It's fully loaded. So I guess it depends on what look you're going for. So that's the instructions. Now, Andreas asked me to compare this to the SU-27. So here is the SU-34. It's in the box the same way. All right, side by side. You can see how much bigger. And granted, this one doesn't have its nose on yet. So, just take the tops. Quit messing around with all the rest of this. Pick the two top halves. SU-34, SU-27. Nose. Nice big full back hump, side by side cockpit, nice and sleek aerodynamic. This one also has a tail section that you have to put on at the end. The wings are pretty close. Yeah, the wings are practically identical until you get to right there, because they are based on the same aircraft. So if we take the SU-34 bottom, the SU-27 top, match with the wings, that's what you get. So, I'm sure it also looks the other way. You take the SU-34 top and you match it up with the SU-27 bottom, and that's what you get. So there is a notable size difference between the two. I'm thinking the SU-34 has bigger engines because the SU-27's nacelles are slightly smaller. From a landing gear perspective, the landing gear bays of this one, the SU-27, this one, the SU-34, and then crew gets into this one that way. SU-27, the pilot climbs into the top. So there's your comparison. And still it's going to come back with the SU-34. It's going to come back to this nose that everyone's been arguing about. Is it right? Is it wrong? Well, would you have a Russian pilot over to your house who flew an SU-34 and be able to tell you it's wrong? Or a Russian aviation expert over to tell you it's wrong? I don't know. I wouldn't. But you're paying $134 for the kit. So you want accuracy. Again, until I hold it up next to a picture of a real aircraft, I couldn't tell you because I'm not an SU-34 expert. Until the Syrian conflict started, I never really knew about the SU-34. So, there's its nose. And, you know, I'm sure if it's wrong, one of the major companies will come out with a replacement nose, and you're just going to cut it off right at that line right there and replace it. And without the cock or the canopy in there, to me it's hard to tell if it's right or not. This part shape looks right. But then I could be wrong because this looks a little fatter. And I think the pictures are probably accurate. And then like this. This seems a little more narrow than this, especially right here. Oops, right here. So I guess if you're comparing it to the picture and the picture's authentic, then it is wrong. Looks more rounded in the picture. And it would come to where the picture is, it would end at this panel line right here. So the colored part is that forward. So again, is it shaped wrong? Maybe. Is the picture the right one and the model the wrong one? Is the model the right one and the picture the wrong one? Don't know. But with all kits, it's up to you to decide which is right and which is wrong. Hey, I like that fit right there. It's really nice. It's up to you to decide. You want to pay, I didn't pay $134 for this kit, like I said. I got it for $83 because I had a 40% off coupon. And they happen to have them going on sale the day I ordered it. So, do you want to pay $135 for this kit? You have to decide that. Eventually, I'm sure it'll go on sale somewhere. I'm happy I got it. It'll add nicely to my collection. It is a big, big aircraft. But, like I said, I'm happy I got it. To me, it's going to look okay. As long as I don't screw it up putting it together. So, thanks for watching this extremely long review of the SU-34 and the side-by-side comparison to what the SU-34 is based on. SU-27. Now, it's up to you to decide. You want to buy it and build it? Or you just want to look at mine when it's all finished? It's your call. So, there we go, my fellow styrene craftsmen. You make the call, you decide. I hope you enjoy the review. I know it was long, and I stuttered a few times in there, and it's not perfect. But it's my review, and it's what I do, just for the fun of it. So enjoy, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll talk to you next time on the next one.